There's a line drive high and deep to left. It is gone! 3-run home run, Kyle Kubat. Fly ball to left, Sweeney hit well, and oh, Charlie Capsella, what a play! Here's a line drive out to center field. It's a grand slam! Going back is Shaw. He is going to get there. What a catch! And he's going to hop over the fence while doing it. What a coming home is Morales to throw on a double hop. Is it in time? It is in time! Here's a rocket. Deep left field. Does this have a chance to go? It is gone! Go ahead, homer. Tyler Wilkins on the first pitch. Play called for a back on the 14th, and there's number 100. Steven Devaney with a line drive to left. He's 2 for 2. And with triple digits for number 1 as a difference. And here's a ground ball shooting through the left side. And Kingsway has won the Ralph Shaw opener. Oh, here we go. Fly ball deep left center field. And it is gone. Grand slam. Scott Lynch, grand slam. Is the man of the hour. There's a ground ball that's going to go into center field. Going to be picked up, and it's going to be booted. Here comes the runner to the plate, and Pittman has won it in extras. Walk-off single, Jude Engstrom. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Just like they drew it up in Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swinging on this! And the Audubon Great Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons in the Ralph Shaw Classic.
Live from the Fountainwood School here in Burlington Township. I almost blanked on the name for a second. Welcome to the third of 4 soccer games we're covering this week right here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. We've got 2 Burlington County Scholastic League teams in another Burlington County game. I've been up here 3 days in a row. I feel like I should start paying rent. We did Cinnamons and Delran on Monday. That was a great game. The Hun School versus Life Center at the West Hampton Complex on Tuesday. And now we have the unbeaten 9-0-1 Palmyra Panthers facing off against the 6-4 Burlington Township Falcons. I'm Dan Wilkins. We're flying solo today here from the Fountainwood School in Burlington Township. Let's go over some starting lineups real quick in our Garden State Pet Center pregame show. This broadcast is brought to you by Garden State Pet Center, the place to be for all things pet related, including the healthiest product choices available and toys, cages, accessories, and more. Visit today in person 7 days a week on the 200 block of Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, or visit online anytime at exoticpetsnj.com. Starting off with Mike Pappenberg's Panthers, we've got a senior heavy team, an upperclassman heavy team here for the Panthers. It's going to be John Bilkins, Richie Butler, Luke Canuli, Julian Carlino, Abdul Iola, Jace Jennings, Andrew Santoro, again, all seniors. After that, we go down to the juniors, Jaden Jennings, Cole McCary, Connor McCann, and Xavier Oliver, and the lone sophomore, class of 26 in this starting 11, Deacon Haynes in the goal for the Panthers. For Matt Carroll's Burlington Township Falcons, we have Ethan Jaworski, Anthony Fitch, Ian Brown, Jordan Brown, Riley Laws, Logan Cars, Gabriel Hauk, Connor Corbin, Tommy Bennett, and Miles Moore in the place for the 11, starting for Burlington Township. Remember, Palmyra and Burlington Township, both part of the Burlington Scholastic League, and what you have to remember is that this is not an Olympic conference or a tri-county conference where there are superstars at every corner. Palmyra being 9-0-1 with the schedule that they've played may put them as an undefeated team on the season, but it's not going to put them at the top of their PowerPoint rankings. Burlington Township, on the other hand, after losing 1-0 to Palmyra last year and beating them 7-0 just a few years ago, are now looking to change the script a little bit. They are 6-4 this year, which is a stark difference from the 4-13 record that the Falcons had last year under the head coach leadership of Matt Carroll. So now the question is, where will these heads collide? What do we have next? And speaking of what we have next, tomorrow will be Deptford and the Spartans versus the Cumberland Colts from Cumberland Regional High School. So instead of us from where we're based out in Audubon to all the way up in Burlington County, we're going all the way down to Cumberland Regional for that wonderful game. Big thanks to Cumberland Regional for having us out. And then we have Friday Night Lights for Week 6 NJ football. It's the St. Joseph Metuchen Falcons versus the Edison Eagles, followed by a Group 1 powerhouse on Saturday, the Paulsboro Red Raiders versus the Salem Rams. As these guys talk it over on their respective sidelines, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Burlington County Soccer, Palmyra and Burlington Township coming up in Actually, it might be less than a minute, just a couple seconds. We'll be right back. From the Fountainwood School here in Burlington Township, the Falcons are going to line up on the left side of your screen with the black jerseys and white numbering. Palmyra will be on the right side of your screen with the white jerseys and red numbers. Again, Palmyra 9-0-1 in the 2023 campaign. Burlington Township 6-4. You're watching coverage of BCSL soccer on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Don't forget we have Deptford and Cumberland tomorrow at 4 o'clock, and then St. Joe's, Metuchen, and Edison for Friday Night Lights football, 7 p.m. up north. Palmyra this year, their one tie was on September the 20th versus Holy Cross Prep, but they've had commanding wins versus Pennsauken, Northern Burlington, Florence, Timber Creek, Burlington City, Bordentown, Westhampton Tech, and Bordentown. They've actually only allowed 3 goals all season, that being in the Northern Burlington game, in the Timber Creek game, and in the Bordentown game, each allowing 1 goal in each of those games. And for Burlington Township, as we said, they were 4-13 last year, but they are looking to change the narrative after a very close 1-0 loss last year versus the Palmyra Panthers. They are going to look to change the script and go back to their old ways of winning versus Palmyra. In the red and white, we are underway from the Fountainwoods. Already getting the offense started underway with number 12, Miles Moore, gets that one up in the air. Number 11, Ian Brown on that one, already challenging Palmyra's goal. Palmyra's goalkeeper in the gold. Although Burlington Township does have a very creative kit for their goalkeeper, and you're going to see it actually in just a second here as Burlington Township's going to try to bring that one back. Palmyra had good momentum. Riley Laws passing it over to Anthony Fitch. Goes to Palmyra's number 1, Jaden Jennings. Back to Cole McCamey, rather. That one's out on the far sideline. You can see like a little string fence that's separating parents from fans, and that one's going to be out of play.
Yo, Connor, you got to watch that guy on your run.
This will be a kick by, or rather a send in by McCamey. He's going to reposition a couple times. Just getting started here in Burlington Township between the Palmyra Panthers and the Burlington Township Falcons. He'll send this one away, gets a good angle on it, but gets blocked by Burlington Township. Goes back to Brown. There's a good breakaway. Palmyra just needs to take advantage of that. For number 15, that being Andrew Santoro. And going to be the first opportunity for the goalkeeper, Tommy Bennett. Class 26 sophomore for the Falcons. You can see that very colorful kit right there. Has a couple soccer balls on it, like a tie-dye design. A lot of times you just see plain colors. That's going to be a foul. Palmyra wasn't or rather Burlington Township wasn't too happy with that foul. You could hear somebody say that's soft, but that could also be in reference to the field. You know, we were talking to Matt Carroll and we were also talking to Mike Pappenberg before the game, and part of the you know, the notion that we were talking about is that Burlington Township had to move a couple of their games from the Fountainwood School to Burlington Township High School, and that was just because the field just never seems to dry up. The field, even today, it hasn't rained for a couple of days. It's been all sun, 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 probably since Saturday, I want to say. Saturday the 30th. That was probably the last time that we actually had rain in the area. So it's been 4 or 5 days, but yet the grass is still wet. You have, you know, this very soft field that is kind of hard to get a lot of momentum going on, at least for Burlington Township at their home field. Falcons are going to get a good run here, and Palmyra is going to send this one into the parking lot. Be sent away by Bennett. Straight away. McCammy's got it. Headed by Iola. And that's going to be a foul. Wasted no time sending that one away, and that's going to hug the corner, and it's out of play. This is going to be a corner for Burlington Township to be sent away by the senior Ethan Jaworski. Gets a nice release, headed by a whole bunch of white and red. They can't get that, and that'll be a whistle. Palmyra seems to have some early miscommunication. A lot of these guys are yapping at each other and trying to figure out where to put everybody, but that doesn't really help your team chemistry at the start of the game. You know, we're about 5 minutes into the first half, and we have already a lot of guys just screaming at each other. So we sent away by Burlington Township's Anthony Fitch, and it will be wide to the right of the post, just past the goalkeeper and lone sophomore on the team, Deacon Haynes. Haynes gets this one back into McCammy. Fitch is running hard, leads with the shoulder, and that will be a foul. A lot of fouls in the first 5 minutes, but I like that. I like the fact that, you know, they're calling it as it is. You know, we had a lot of controversy. You know, I don't know if I want to call it controversy or just distress and distrust over the Hun and Life Center game, where it was a good game when it came to, you know, how the officials were conducting themselves, but there was a lot of leniency when it came to what fouls were called and what weren't, and that, you don't want that. You know, you want to be the guy to say, hey, you know, that was a foul, we're going to call that. But everybody seems to have a different definition of what a foul is, what a free kick is, you know, what that constitutes. So that always creates a lot of trouble. This one's going to be back to Deacon Haynes in the post for Palmyra. And Palmyra's keeper, again, Deacon Haynes, the lone sophomore on this team. Everybody else is juniors and seniors. He's going to send this one away. That one is off the chest of number 12, that being Miles Moore, another sophomore. Goes back into the Falcons' possession. It's number 4, that being Matthias Toro Killian. Comes a good opportunity here for the Burlington Falcons if they can hang on to it. And no foul there. Still working hard in the corner. Off the chest and out of play. Back towards Gabriel Hauk.
Got your gang?
And this will be sent in by Palmyra. He gets this one away. Hugging the sideline, and that's going to go out to the Palmyra sideline. You're watching coverage of Burlington County Soccer here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting between the Palmyra Panthers and the Burlington Township Falcons. If you have any questions or comments about today's broadcast, drop me a line at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. Here comes a breakaway for Palmyra. Getting a good opportunity here. We'll see what they can get. Burlington Township applauding that takeaway. And that'll be a roller right to Bennett. So Tommy Bennett takes that one in. He's going to get ready to send this one off. Burlington Township, again, as we said, 6-4 this year, which under the leadership of Matt Carroll is a stark difference from the 4-13 record that they had last year with a 2-4 record in the Burlington County Liberty Division. You know, they started off the year 0-5, and then they had a bit of a good run in late September, early October, but this year they're, you know, starting off hot, and hopefully they're going to keep that momentum if you're a Falcons fan. But they lost 4-3 in the season opener to Morristown, beat Bordentown 3-2, lost to Cinnaminson 5-1. We'll just go over the losses. Morristown 4-3, Cinnaminson 5-1, 3-0 to Delran, and then 3-2 to Northern Burlington. They did beat, however, Bordentown 3-2, 4-0, 4-1, and 4-1 versus Florence, West Tech, and West Windsor South. Gotta keep that one in. There's a nice shot there by Olay, or rather from Iola. Township still with possession with Chase Kravchik. Even Matt Carroll told me good luck when it came to pronouncing that name. No foul, but it seems like taking a little bit to get up there. Number 12, that being Miles Moore. Going back and forth, a heavy defensive first 10 minutes. Goes back to the Falcons, still with no score here. Getting tripped up a little bit there and appearing to be a little bit hurt there. It's going to be Jaworski. He gets back up and walks a little gingerly. That's a nice shot taken down by Fitch. Getting a lot of velocity. I mean, you know, considering that these guys are playing on a really soft grass, a lot of these guys are slipping really easily. A lot of these guys are tripping over themselves, or whenever you get in that defensive pressure, you know, even me just walking over from where we are on the broadcast booth to the other sideline to get rosters from Coach Carroll and Coach Paffenberg, you know, I could notice how soft the grass was. And I emailed, Coach Carroll this morning. I said, what field are we playing at? Are we playing at Fountain Woods or are we playing at the high school? And he said, I don't know yet. I didn't figure it out until 12 p.m. They needed to check out if the field was dry enough to play. But that always makes an interesting case if you're the home team, because you don't know what field you're going to play on until a couple hours before the game. Moore has this one, sends it straight away. Palmyra gets back to possession. But hard charging from his back is number 6, Chase Kravchik. And that's out of play off the sideline towards the manager's booth with Mackenzie Merlot of Palmyra. After today, Burlington has 6 games left. They're away at Bishop Eustace and at Holy Cross Prep, the team that that Palmyra tied earlier this year. And they're home to Cinnaminson, and then they end the year with 3 straight road games at Northern Burlington, Nottingham up in Mercer County, and Delran. Which that Nottingham game does look like it's going to be a good one. That is an off day, so I'll have to talk to the Nottingham folks, see if we can cover one of those games, but Nottingham's actually 0-10 on the soccer season this year with losses from September 12th to October 3rd. They have been winless so far this year. Here comes a liner from Deacon Haynes, blocked by Moore. Trying to send that one back the other way. McCamey gets it to number 12, that being Connor Jones. Going to Canuli. Just trying to set up a good opportunity for Palmyra. They just have really had a lot of man-on-man defense where nobody can really get a breakaway going, and if they do, the opposing defense is there to stop it pretty quickly. That one flies down the sideline and out of play with Anthony Fitch. Sent down by number 4, that being Matthias Toro Killian. I apologize if it takes me a couple seconds to figure out who's on the roster for Burlington Township because I don't know what it's organized by. It doesn't seem to be organized by anything actually, but you kind of have to play a word search puzzle to look for what number is who. So if I don't have their name already memorized, it's going to take me quite a long time to try to find it on the roster and try to figure out who's going out of play there. But Toro Killian is going to throw this one in for the Falcons, and hold on now, we're going to get a substitute, actually 2 substitutes. Number 30, that being Mason Mortaja, and number 25, that being Michael Perthke. From the Fountainwood School here in Burlington Township, about 25 minutes left in the half, about 15 minutes into the ball game. That's taken in. Palmyra's got a chance, but they've got a litany of Falcons getting ready to attack that one, and that one's out of play. That's a great defensive effort there by number 26, Connor Corbin, class of 25 junior. Up in the air. Comes back down, a collision with Jaden Jennings and Burlington's number 7, Mr. Finch, or Fitch rather. Goes back to McCamey. Mortaja working hard on the defense there for number 10, and that one goes out there to no man's land on the kick by Palmyra's number 10, Jace Jennings. Burlington gets it up in the air. It's a great relay on it. Here comes a breakaway by the Falcons. What do they have in the tank? Palmyra is going to get that one back pretty swiftly there. Back to Jennings. Number 9, Canuli. Mortaja is there. Back to Toro Killian, and that one goes to the lad of our booth. Comes a throw in by McCamey, drops, stays in possession. Back to the defenseman, number 19, that being Xavier Oliver. I mean, this has been a very good game so far, at least on the defensive side of the ball. You know, by this point, on both of the games that we've had this week, we had already had a score. You know, we've had 2 shutouts this week. The Delran Bears beat the Sentiments and Pirates 3-0. And then along with that, the Hun School, the Hun Raiders, beat the Life Center Warriors 4-0. So we're hoping that that streak doesn't continue and we have a really good defensive game or a really good offensive game if both sides are scoring really well. But we'll see what Palmyra can get here on the corner. Gets headed by Corbin, keeps it on the ground. That one goes to the left of Tommy Bennett and out of play. This broadcast is brought to you by Tommy D's Home Improvement Surplus, the place to be for wholesale kitchen cabinets and countertops at heavily discounted rates compared to big box retailers. Visit today on the corner of Creek Road and Harding Avenue in Belmar next to the 42 on-ramp. Their second in-person location. I don't know if that was visible on the camera, but when Cole McCamey brought that ball down, you could literally see like a whirlpool of sweat just bouncing off of his face. I think that goes to show that even though this is the first week of October, it's October 4th today, but it is still hot. You know, this is probably one of the last weeks of the year that it's going to be actually significantly hot, but it's 84 with low humidity and really no wind. It's going to be going to the south at 5 miles per hour, which is nothing more than a little breeze. It's actually going to really drop down to 55 tonight, but this is that kind of year where the days are still pretty hot, but the nights are just really, really cold.
Oh my God!
Still staying around midfield for McCamey. Bennett's going to have a setup here. What do they have? And it goes right at the knees, and Bennett takes it down. Getting close to the halfway point here in the first half between the Panthers and the Falcons of the Burlington County fame. There's a pop-up. Gets that one in the air. A little bit of a head-on collision there involving number 25. That being Michael Persky. Goes over Mortaja, going back out. Palmyra and Burlington giving it a little bit of room here for Dylan Zarillo. Here comes a shot. Palmyra's got an opportunity. Gets a push from the back. Blocked at the feet by Bennett. Hits off the post. There's a second one. Now Palmyra still with possession. Going to go for a third time, and Bennett has it. Unbelievable defense, either by skill or by complete happenstance. Tommy Bennett with an incredible defensive masterclass right there. And now we reach the halfway point. Remember, the clock on the bottom of your screen is unofficial, although we did just pass the 20-minute mark. Sent along the line for Connor Jones. Palmyra with another drive. Let's see if they can get here. Blocked by Burlington Township, getting that ball back. Toro Killian. Now Ian Brown has it, going back to number 10. That being Ethan Jaworski. Hugging the far sideline, Zarillo's got it. We'll see what they can get. I mean, it's been pretty even for, you know, how far the possession's been on Palmyra's side and on Burlington Township side, but Bennett's had a lot more pressure from the Palmyra offense. Burlington Township's been good in controlling the ball. Once they get close to that goalpost, though, they haven't had much luck. That one is way off to the right, now to play. And a few substitutions coming in for the Panthers, including number 18, that being Callum Kersey, and number 7, that being the senior Abdul Iola. He's back into the ballgame. This is going to be a goal kick for the Panthers here. It's a good boot on it. Burlington Township's going to get this one back. And it just seems like when Burlington Township has the possession, it's just going the other way. So they're going to send this one back to Bennett. Traps it. Gets it out on the right foot. Blocked by Jace Jennings. Goes back to Richie Butler here. Palmyra still driving. They've had a couple close calls. On the offensive side, that one is blocked by Toro Killian. Here comes an opportunity here from Canuli. Jennings, liner right to Bennett, and he sends it down. Up in the air, and that one's sent away. That's going to land just past midfield here with a little bit of help from Jennings. Goes to John Wilkins, the senior. Here comes a chance. And it's through. A goal, Falcons. Burlington Township with their first goal of the game. Coming off the foot of number 20. That being Logan Cars. And Burlington Township takes an early 1-0 lead.
No worries, boys. No worries.
About 16 minutes left in the half, about 24 minutes into the ball game. Palmyra is going to get this one back after a 1-0 start for Burlington Township with the undefeated Palmyra Panthers. And they tried to get that one back in the net as soon as they let one up. Would have been a great leveler, but just couldn't hang on to that one. So it looks like Burlington Township, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like they have 3 ball runners. They have one down our sideline, they have one on the far sideline, but there is also another one, if you can see here, it's behind the net. We'll talk about him in a minute, but this is going to be a corner for Palmyra, gets a good shot. Bennett, that one's off the post and out of play. But you can see there's a guy back there working behind the net, and what I noticed is that during practice, when I showed up here, probably around 3 o'clock, getting off 295, exit 47, what I've noticed about what a lot of Burlington Township did, if they missed the goalpost, there's not a lot where it can go. This is going to be another corner by Palmyra. We'll see what they can get. Bennett setting it up. That one is high and away. That was a great rally there by John Wilkins to get that one close to the net, but just a little bit too high. But you can see, if Burlington Township misses a ball, they've got to go a long way to retrieve it. You can see there's just like parking lot out there. There's a lot of divots, a lot of ditches where these, soccer balls can just kind of find themselves lost. As Ian Brown goes down there. About 26.5 minutes into this one. Palmyra trails Burlington Township 1-0 here in a Burlington soccer tilt right here. There's going to be a free kick for the Falcons.
He's here somewhere. He was over in the shade, wherever he could.
Here's a good one. That's just going to be a little bit off to the left. Sent away by Anthony Fitch. But this is actually really interesting where we're at the Fountainwood School. Obviously this is actually the first game I've covered for Burlington Township in any sport. But what I've noticed, this is a very interesting kind of aspect where, if you kick a ball too far, you can see that fence that they have that's, there's a boat and like an old Ford Explorer that's back there. Maybe an old 60s Ford truck as well. Very interesting landscape. They have another field, as you can see in the background here. But this is what I love about covering a lot of these smaller schools. Palmyra and Burlington Township, I believe they're both Group 2. I don't think they're anything higher than Group 2. They may even be Group 1. I know Burlington Township is not Group 1, but I believe Palmyra either is or is pretty darn close to it. Good cross up there, going back towards number 20, Logan Cars, who had that first goal of the ball game. Here comes the throw in. Jordan Brown has it.
Stay on mark. I'll go step. Get up.
Here comes a drive by Burlington. Abdul with a nice header there, sending it back out to Jennings. I mean, Burlington Township's really having to do a lot of the heavy lifting on defense, but they're in the lead, so, you know, look, when they have those breakaways, it works, but Palmyra's had a lot more opportunities and a lot more shots on goal than Burlington Township had so far, so it's only a matter of time, I think, before Palmyra tries to strike here and really gets through Bennett. I mean, they got as close as you could get with a shot off the post, a shot off the goalkeeper, and then finally a third one that brought him down. But Burlington Township's a good team. Don't let last year's numbers fool you, the 4-13 record. This is a changed team. You know, I haven't had the time to talk to Coach Carroll about what specifically was changed, whether it's a lot of new guys, the development of their existing guys. Burlington wanted a foul there. Palmyra's going to get a good kick with nice distance. Off the foot of McCaney. Cars trying to work in double traffic. He gets trapped on top of the ball, and it's going to be a whistle. Kind of a no-win situation where right there, because he got tripped up and he was actually on top of the ball. You know, he kind of fell on top of the ball, so it made a really weird situation and one that he did not get out of before the whistle. Actually, a free kick for Palmyra's Cole McCamey. Good angle if they can set it up right, but it goes the other way, and that's going to be another whistle. It's going to be on Palmyra here. Sent away by the Falcons. Going to get past midfield here, past Jennings. Here comes a good drive by Palmyra. Still a litany of Falcons right on him, right on McCamey. It's going to be a setup, going to stay on the ground and right to Bennett. Well, it only took him enough time to try to get there. I mean, again, you know, I don't doubt that the chemistry on Palmyra's side is good, but it just worries me a little bit that these guys are, you know, having to give each other, I wouldn't say fundamental instructions, but instructions that players as experienced as high school guys, you know, probably should have. But I am surprised that they didn't pressure the ball earlier. You know, Bennett was just waiting for it. He was putzing around with it. But remember, there has to be good qualities in a team that's 9-0-1. They haven't just beaten their opponents by 1 or 2. They've blown out a couple of those guys. Again, that one tie to Holy Cross Prep was a 0-0. They've only allowed this was the 4th goal that Palmyra has allowed all season. And that's shocking considering that their season started on September the 9th. It's almost been, I mean, shocking to believe it or not, it's almost been an entire month with only 4 goals allowed. That's still an impressive stat. So whether the Falcons are an outlier or a symbol of a new trend is yet to be seen, but that is a story that only time will tell. Bennett's going to hang out of this one. He's going to send this one away from outside of the post. Up in the air. Headed by number 26. That being Connor Corbin. About 8 minutes left in the half. There shouldn't be too much stoppage time, so that clock on the bottom of your screen should be mostly accurate, but it is, remember, unofficial. Here comes the throw in by the Falcons. Gonna get past Ian Brown. Back to Jaden Jennings. Abdul Iola passed it back to Luke Canuli. Jace Jennings looking for possession here. Going to go past Jennings. It's going to stay in play for Palmyra. It's going to be a good angle. Can they get the header? They do not. It's going to go back into Burlington Township. Takes a tough shot off of Jace. Oh, and crossed up here, number 15, Andrew Santoro. And a couple of Burlington guys go down there. One of them was Jaworski, who's had a couple of trip-ups tonight, just at, you know, kind of wrong place, wrong time. Gonna get that one in on a rather slow pace. Jaworski keeps it on the ground past Ian Brown. Palmyra gets it off the knee of Jaworski. And it's out of play. Palmyra's gonna get this one back.
No, see the ball. Stop turning your back to the ball. Take a man. They went. Where's we at, boy? Pressure the ball.
Gonna go back to Bennett. This is really interesting to watch. I mean, you know, I don't want to be the scathing kind of guy when it comes to the assessments of soccer teams, because I'm not a soccer expert. I haven't played in, you know, almost 8 years. So, you know, but it's important to see this team is 9-0-1. Something worked right for them for the first 10 games, but it just seems like a lot of these guys are a lost bunch just in terms of the communication, and that's something that Mike Pappenberg is probably going to talk to these guys about. You know, there's been a lack of pressure on the ball. We saw that yesterday in the Hun versus Life Center game. You know, Hun got 3 goals in the first 30 minutes of the game. They scored all 4 of their goals in the first half and then let off the gas the entire second half. So, yeah, and that, there's another thing from Jaden Jennings right there. From Jace Jennings, rather. You just heard him say, stop turning your back to the ball to his teammates. You know, they need him to be alert. They need him to be able to, you know, see where that ball's coming in. And McCamey raised the same concern earlier when they were, you know, when he was throwing the ball in and he couldn't throw it to anybody without giving it right back to the other team. So, you know, these guys are going to probably going to talk about communication during the, you know, halftime break that we have here. And they're going to say, hey, you know, what do we have to do to fix this? But Burlington Township in a 3-on-1 jam sandwich goes back out to Iola. He's all by himself. But this is something that Burlington Township's taken advantage of here in the first half. You know, they've realized that, hey, these guys are, you know, maybe getting a little bit lackadaisical in pressuring the ball. So they're going to do what they can to make sure that they pressure the ball when they're on defense so that they get more opportunities and they get more possession time than the Panthers. Oh, coming down with that one. That's going to be a foul. Ian Brown got knocked down. Kind of got wiped out from underneath him there. Jaworski's going to have this one. About 4 minutes left in the half.
Let's go, Ethan. You got this.
Jaworski with a great one, but just had a little too much spin to the right. And it's out of play. Sub coming in for Palmyra. That being number 6. Richie Butler coming back into the game. See a goal kick for the Panthers.
Come on, White. Go, White.
Gets that one down, just past midfield, but it's not going to give the bounce that the Falcons wanted there. Abdul Iola gets a little bit of a shove, goes back to Tommy Bennett. Off the head of number 9, Riley Laws. Here comes an opportunity for the Panthers and swatted away by Tommy Bennett. Gets out of play there. Tommy Bennett has been a warrior in goal, and I've only known this guy for the past half an hour, so he has been excellent out there here in the first half. comes the corner. Sorry about that, didn't have the camera focus there. No good. And Cole McCamey's going to get that one out towards the sideline. Tommy Bennett, the sophomore, with 46 saves in 7 games this year for the Falcons. Had actually 13 in a 2-1 win over Seneca on September the 30th. But let me check from last year, because I do believe that Burlington Township, I think, is a Group 2 school. But Seneca's a big school. They're part of that Lenape Valley School District that has Shawnee, Cherokee, Lenape. They've got a lot of guys in there that, you know, really bring a lot of pack, a lot of punch. But, you know, this is the second year of Matt Carroll being the head coach of Burlington Township. Before that was Alec Galini, and, you know, it was 6-13-1 in 2021. And in that year, they were actually a part of Central Jersey Group 3, where they lost in the first round versus Long Branch. So this could be, if Burlington Township continues this good momentum. They were 2-10 in 2020, 8-11 in 2019. But we'll go over these stats in a minute here. Here comes a shot, one-on-one. Bennett blocks. And in front of the goal, Burlington Township going to try to hang on to this one. With what we believe is less than a minute and a half, that's going to be a whistle.
That's a card, referee! A handball.
So one of them wanted a card, the other one wanted a handball, but either way, it's a whistle. Either way. Stops play here in the first. So for the record, if Burlington Township does hang on to, you know, in their next 6 games, have an over 500 record and finish the season over 500, it will be the first time since 2015, 8 years ago, that Burlington Township had that distinction. They went 10-7-3 under the leadership of John Marks in the 2015 season and made it all the way to the quarterfinal round of Central Jersey Group 3, losing to West Windsor North 2-0 after beating Lawrence, or actually tying Lawrence, but beating them in PKs in that first round. There comes a good shot here. Burlington Township going to send this one way away for the porta potties. Here comes the throw in. A lot of dissatisfaction from the Burlington Township sideline. They wanted a whistle blown for an injury timeout, but I think they're just going to try to ride it out at the end of the half. And speaking of, that is the end of the half. We'll take a quick break. Burlington Township with just the 4th goal that Palmyra has allowed all season. They lead 1-0 at the break. They've been giving the Panthers a hard time, and this has been a hard-fought game. We'll be back in 10 minutes for the Garden State Pet Center halftime show and more here from the Fountainwood School here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. We'll be right back, folks.
DJK Roofing is an American-known company that cares about our customers. We answer the phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and offer financing options to keep cash in your pocket. Even in our busiest times, estimates happen within 24 hours if needed. Most jobs can be completed in 1 day. Our measurement techniques ensure accuracy, so they're replace your roof. We treat our home like it's yours. From the biggest to the smallest jobs, the owner will be on site to oversee the operation. Our employees are not permitted to smoke on jobs, and cleanup is so good that it might be cleaner than when we arrived. For all your roofing needs, call DJK Roofing now.
Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales styles, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 Southwest.
Tommy D's Home Design Center has opened a second location on Creek Road in Belmar, operating in Philadelphia for over 25 years and now expanding into South Jersey. Tommy D's is the place to go for kitchen cabinets, countertops, and cabinet accessories, heavily discounted compared to big box retailers. Stop in, take a seat, and watch as our experienced kitchen designer makes the kitchen of your dreams right in front of you. Tommy D's is the best in the business for quality kitchen countertops and cabinets that fit all budgets. Call us today at 856-210-9504 or visit the new location in person on the corner of Creek Road and Harding Avenue in Belmar next to the 42 on-ramp.
Here in the second half, it's 1-0 Burlington Township over the Palmyra Panthers. Panthers only let up their 4th goal of the entire season in the first half to the Falcons, and they are going to look to extend on that lead in the next 40 minutes of the ball game. I'm Dan Wilkins. Hope you guys are having a good one here this afternoon. It is a hot one here in Burlington Township, about 84 degrees up here in Burlington County, and we are going to have another 40 minutes of BCSL soccer right at your fingertips here on DWB. You're watching coverage of the Palmyra Panthers and the Burlington Township Falcons here in boys soccer on Dan Wilkins Broadcast. If you have any questions or comments about today's broadcast, drop me a line at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. This broadcast is brought to you by the DJK Roofing Friends in Morristown, South Jersey's #1 roofing supplier with over 200 5-star reviews on the web. You get a free quote today at 856-778-3900. Financing options are available. Just ask for Carmine. Palmyra will be on the left side of your screen with the white jerseys and red numbers and accents. On the right side of your screen will be Burlington Township and the Falcons with black jerseys. God bless them for playing in pitch black jerseys in this heat. And white accents. We are underway. Gonna run side to side here with Palmyra getting the possession early. Sent down by Jace Jennings. Jennings hanging on the possession. You know, one of the concerns in the first half, at least on the Palmyra side, was that they weren't really pressuring the ball on defense, and they weren't really attacking the ball on offense. And, you know, for a team that's 9-0-1, I've said it before and I'll say it again, they have to do a lot of things right. You have to do a lot of things right to win 9 games in a row and only have 1 tie and 0 losses in the entire first half of the season. Oh, look at that header right there. That's a desperate effort there from Connor Corbett, and it goes out of play. Can't say I've seen that one before from Corbin or from anybody else for that matter, but this is going to be a corner for Palmyra. Up in the air, couldn't get that one down. A couple legs coming together on that one. Back out to number 2, that being Julian Carlino. Oh, goes over Bennett and it's in for a goal for Palmyra. A perfect opportunity, and the Panthers re-level the game at 1 just about 90 seconds into the second half.
First 10 minutes of every shot. Hi, guys.
About 2 minutes into the second half here, 1-1 as Palmyra, after letting up its first goal in a long time, and also they're just their 4th goal of the entire season, now level it back up in a 1-1 game. As we said, Palmyra beat Burlington 1-0 last year.
Tied it up. How did Jackson do? They're down 2-0. Jackson's doing okay.
Up in the air and deep into the trees down in the far corner. We'll see where they put this one. I mean, hey, Palmyra got their first goal of the game on a corner. We'll see if they can make it work from the other side now. That would really swing the momentum. Back in play for Palmyra, setting it up for number 8, Connor McCann. And Iola gets that one out of play, past Bennett to the left. Whether you're a Panthers fan or a Falcons fan, we can all come together and watching South Jersey high school soccer here on DWB. We'd like to thank everybody for recently surpassing 1,250 subscribers, getting closer and closer to 1,500 and maybe even 2,000 by the end of the school year. You know, this is something that I take very seriously. This is a job that I love doing. For those that are unfamiliar with my work, I'm 17 years old. I turned 18 in November. You know, a student at Audubon High School, about 30 minutes south of here in Burlington, but you know, there's only so many fans that you can gain from Audubon Athletics, and you know, this is something that we really enjoy, something that we really value. You know, the coverage of high school sports, because they're well represented in the media, but they are underrepresented in terms of film and broadcasts. And we have, you know, about $5,000 of equipment that we work with, and a great crew of graphic designers and producers. This is going to be a great breakaway here by Palmyra, setting it up for Santoro. One-on-one, that one is going to be off of Benetton. Talk about a momentum swinger as Palmyra makes it 2-1. First 4 minutes of the half, and Palmyra goes from down 1 to up 1 in the blink of an eye. Oh, man. So Matt Carroll will have to go back to the drawing board in an electric Palmyra crowd. I'm telling you, this feels like a Palmyra home game with how many Panthers fans have showed up here this afternoon. You know, we've seen a lot of anomalies in South Jersey soccer this year, but this has been something that they've really been able to pounce on. Here comes another breakaway from Palmyra. That one's going to roll in the far sideline, staying in play, but just off the foot of Carlino and out of play.
I finally get to wear my shirt because I was always too cold. Really?
Mazin Mortaja, after a little bit of a delay, sent away by Corbin. Here comes a drive. Ian Brown trying to get to that one. Jennings stops it. Excuse me, that'll be number 19, that being Xavier Oliver, and that's going to be a whistle. This will be sent away by Burlington's number 5. That being Jordan Brown. Off the head of Brown. Here comes the drive. They're going to try to make this one work, make it 3-1. Bennett's going to be under pressure. Palmyra's surely under pressure. They let that one go, and they take the pressure off a little bit. Going back to Cannuli, getting very physical here in the first part of the second half. Sent away, and that one is going to stay in play on the far sideline. It's a bit of a hump of the grass in the middle, so it's not completely flat, so it's hard to see a little bit on that far side. You know, maybe a little bit of a natural hill in the middle. Bennett is taking his time, takes it away, going to be just short of midfield, blocked by Jace Jennings. Anthony Fitch passes it back out to Zarillo, getting a bit of a shove by Isola. Palmyra still with possession, and that's going to be a whistle right there.
That's a big card, so.
Yeah, that's going to be not bearing good news there. That's going to be a yellow card for Burlington Township.
Stop, Connor!
So Dylan Zarillo gets the card. Everything just kind of came to a head pretty quickly there, you know, only 8 minutes into the half, and a lot of these guys were getting real physical and throwing a lot of blocks, throwing a lot of shoulders, but now that finally kind of boiled over a little bit, and now the cooling saucer has been deployed with that yellow card on Dylan Zarillo. That's going to be hugging the sideline, and that one goes out of play. Going to be thrown in by Burlington. Across the line. Going to be Palmyra's ball. Going to be taken in by McCann.
Movement, boys, movement.
Throw in on a couple hops, going to Jaden Jennings. But like we said, Bennett has had a lot of pressure. You know, here in the first, he had a lot of pressure in the first half, and I said, sooner or later, that pressure is going to break. You know, a couple seams are going to burst, and Palmyra is going to get on the board. And I was right, not just once, but twice. Oh, this one gets around a Palmyra goalkeeper, Mr. Haynes, and that's out of play. That was almost a crisis if Burlington Township got past it. That would have tied up the game at 2. This will be to the left of the goal, sent by Jaden Jennings. Up in the air. It's going to land just at midfield in front of Luke Canuli.
Gotta be better!
Come on, guys, step!
Ooh, going down, and that's going to be a Burlington whistle. Or rather, on Palmyra for Burlington. Well, this is going to set it up good here. Half hour to the first half, or excuse me, half hour left in the second half. Got it wrong on both occasions, but here we go. For Ethan Jaworski.
They wouldn't even do the song.
Getting ready to go. Taking a long time to get things ready. And here we go. It's up, it's away, it's way away and out of play. You see right there, the ball handler behind the goal was trying to, he was trying to get the ball over the net. Didn't work the first time. Throw was a little bit too weak. That was sent away by Palmyra. Runs out on the Panthers sideline.
Christian. Come on, I can't. I just asked coach. Okay. Think about it again.
Let's
Here comes a good drive. Palmyra's going to go for another one, and he's got another one! Oh! The momentum has changed really quickly. And Palmyra, in the first 12 minutes of the second half, pours on 3 goals. Talk about a momentum shifter. They got that one goal about 2 minutes into the second. And now they bring home another one to roast, and it's going to be 3-1. Well, now Burlington Township, you know, they've got 28 minutes left, but it took, whoa, that's going to take out a big chunk of grass, and it's going to take out a big whistle there. That's going to be Ian Brown. We're actually going to stop the clock here, 27:34 rather, for Ian Brown rather. Matt Carroll kind of waiting on the sideline to talk to his guy. Yeah, they need him to come out here. Matt Carroll's coming out. Athletic Director Rob Menino also there. You could see he just kind of got taken out from underneath him, and whether he got the wind knocked out of him or, I mean, you could see it was not a pretty hit, but you can see he's walking on that one leg, can't really put too much weight on that right leg. So he might get a free golf cart ride here. Actually, no, he's just going to walk it off on his own, finally putting weight on that right leg. Never a good sign, though, for, you know, one of these guys, especially playing on grass, you know, especially in this soft ground. Like I said, it's 84 degrees, but this ground is still very soft.
you know, for something where it hasn't rained in 3-4 days, it's very interesting to see, you know, the kind of conditions that these guys are playing in, which this is not a bad field at all. It's a very nice, picturesque field, you know, behind this elementary school in Burlington Township. You know, it's got a lot of great qualities to it, and not to say that, you know, there's really anything bad with grass. You know, I'm one of those people that believe that grass fields are better than turf field if you can, you know, if you can handle it right, as there's going to be a foul. You know, if you can design it right, if you can get yourself in a position where, you know, you can invest a lot in a good grass paint or whatever, recoat it when it rains, recoat it at the change of seasons, and yes, I say investing, you know, I say it's not really that great of an idea to invest in turf fields, because turf fields are dangerous. How many non-contact injuries have we seen in the NFL, and how many of them have been on turf fields? A lot. You know, a lot of people say, oh, we should invest in turf fields because they look better, but, you know, and they handle better in the rain. But would you rather play, you know, a little bit of sloppy football or sloppy soccer after a rainstorm, or would you rather keep everybody's ACLs in one piece? And it's more of a rhetorical question than an actual one, but I'm actually going to take the time here with this free kick, knocking it back a little bit. Sent away by Jordan Brown, gets a lot of great distance on it. It's going to go to Deacon Haynes, and he's going to get this one. Waiting for it. A little bit of a game of chicken there, and Deacon Haynes is going to win the battle. I don't think I've ever seen a game, you know, that situation where that fails against the goalie, but, you know, it's kind of a way to take time down and force the hand of the other team. You know, it's a power that not many have, but many want to force that hand. But, you know, when you have it, you have it. Here comes the throw. Getting it up and away. I got to play. As I said, you know, we have a lot of Palmyra folks watching our broadcast. We covered their football team back in September in a 26-21 win over Gloucester Catholic. But, you know, it's very interesting, you know, the fact that we've seen, you know, so much cheering when Palmyra scores. It almost feels like a home game for the Panthers. Maybe it's because they're not playing at Burlington Township High School, or just because Palmyra travels really well. I do remember they traveled real well for the football game, which wasn't at Gloucester Catholic, because Gloucester Catholic football plays at Gloucester City High School, just because if you know anything about that part of the area where Gloucester Catholic actually is, it's in the middle of the city. There's really no room for a giant football field or a giant soccer field. There's really no room for that, so they play at Gloucester City instead. Here comes a nice setup, going to be blocked by Jennings. Burlington's going to try to get this one back. That was a great shot there, a great opportunity, sliding in, trying to keep that one in, but no good. A valiant effort, though. McCann's looking for somebody to throw to. It's a good slide, though, by number 6. That being Chase Krabshek. And that crossed the line. Good effort, though, by Miles Moore. Just couldn't hang on to that one. They're waiting on subs here. McCann almost threw it in, but they're waiting on subs. Here comes the throw. Still in play. Moore, that's going to cross the line. Here comes the throw.
All the way back at the chain link fence. Gets a good run up. Ooh, Palmyra wanted a corner there, didn't get it. She's gonna go to Bennett. Bennett passes it back. No pressure from the defense, at least right now. They're hanging on to it, really taking their time. Goes to Corbin. He's going to go back to Haynes. He's got it. Oh, here's a good chance. He has a good angle. It is over Haynes. He pulled down on the crossbar. And here comes the sub in for Burlington Township, that being number 22. Who is going to be Andrew Preston coming in.
That was it.
Oh, that one didn't look good. It hit off of Corbin. With McCann. McCann's got a drive here. Breakaway by Palmyra. They've got one man on him. Sliding in is Corbin. He's going to block it, but not for long. Getting it back, and that's going to shoot out. Tara's trying to track him down, but couldn't get it. But that second half run to start the next 40 minutes, that was one of the best runs I've seen in a long time. You know, got 3 goals in 12 minutes. They were scoring as efficiently as I've seen in a while. As Palmyra, if they win tonight, as we're about halfway through the second half, about 60 minutes into this one, they would improve to 10-0-1. And if Burlington Township wins, they would improve to 7-4, about halfway through the campaign. But Burlington Township would still need 2 more goals in the next 20 minutes and about 20 seconds. Again, that clock on the bottom of your screen is unofficial, but about halfway through the second half, they would need a lot of momentum on the offense and a lot going wrong from Palmyra to tie up the game. I mean, Palmyra is a very talented team. Let's see what they can grab here.
Yes,
Goes back out to Preston, the newest sub for Burlington. Blocked by Ian Brown, who had went down with a leg injury earlier in the second half and is now back into the game. So hopefully he just had the wind knocked out of him and that was it. Here comes the breakaway. Palmyra is going to try to make it 4-1. Here comes the setup. Getting tripped up there. Number 15, Santoro. He slaps the ground in frustration and goes back out to Jace Jennings. Keeps it on the ground. That was a great deflection there to stop the momentum of the ball. Stop the inertia, and nobody there, nobody home on the kick by Connor Jones. And then obviously frustrated Jones
Take a breath.
sends it back into play.
Hey, watch your way, Joe.
He's sent away by Bennett. And he is out of play.
Let's go, White!
Be a throw in by McCann. 3-1 Palmyra, about 17 and a half left in the second half. McCann gets it right back to him, gets the header. Gets trapped. Bennett is not going to get there. Palmyra whiffs on it. They're going to set it up again, and it rolls out to the left. They had some excellent passing and some great movement even in the defense. And now Bennett's going to send this one away again. Bennett with a good drive. Jennings going to knock it down. Goes back to Richie Butler. Iola. Got a play. That one's blocked by Corbin and out of play.
Check, boy. Check for a short.
I'm good, thank you.
Let's go. Yes, pull him, Jace. Pull him out.
Here comes the throw. Gets a high arc on it. Burlington trying to bring that ball back. Palmyra is trying to get it back in the box. That one is going to be to the left. Out of play. I mean, Palmyra had such a good run going for about 12 minutes, and now they've, again, kind of stalled out a little bit. That first half, though, was really rough for Palmyra, so whatever they talked about over that break with Mike Pappenberg, and the assistant coaches, Nick Narwhal, Jason Ewing, and Dom Coppola, they must have made it work, as Ian Brown's going to send this one back to Jaworski. Back to Jace Jennings. Canuli's got it. Iola.
Stay in, Jade. Stay in.
Here's a nice crossover. Burlington wanted the foul, and I think they got it.
That's a good run, Jade.
Ball back in play. That'll be a foul. Sent away by Jaworski, or will be sent away by Jaworski.
Statistician.
Out of play. Here comes a run by Palmyra up the midfield. Here comes a good setup for Canuli. Oh, gets tripped up, runs over Bennett. Again, I think Canuli wanted the foul, but just couldn't get that one. A very frustrated Burlington Township there. They've gotten a lot of unfavorability here in the second half. And partly I can't blame them for the frustration, but at the same time, part of that frustration is self-inflicted. Oh, that one gets blocked. That's going to be a push right there and out of play. Jones gets it down, and it's going to be an offsides call. Sends a liner. Up in the air, not going to get that one. About 12 minutes left in the second half. Palmyra leads 3-1. Broadcast is brought to you by Doug Does Anything, your local handyman. For any job needed, no matter how big or small, give Doug Does Anything a call. 856-412-0118. This one's going to be taken in by Deacon Haynes in the goal spot. Deacon Haynes coming in. And he's going to trap it. Didn't have as much room to trap it that time. He still gets the job done. Here comes the throw in.
Come on, Levi. Good, Levi.
Iola's there.
Keep working, keep working. Get off your foot.
Goes back the other way, past midfield for number 18, that being Callum Kersey. Kersey's got it. Getting chased by Toro Killian.
Keep it.
3-1 Palmyra, about 10 minutes left in the second half. They still are driving on offense. And Bennett blocked. Oh, it's off the crossbar, and Bennett gets it back on the rebound. Bennett's going to throw it back in. That was a close call. Levi Shin gets crossed up there. Iola, he's been a present spotlight here in the first half, and Palmyra buries another one. They have been a runaway train in the second half, and after trailing 1-0 at the break, they've scored 4 goals in the second to lead 4-1. Well, now if Burlington Township wants to at least get a shot at this game, they are going to have to turn up the Jets all the way to 11. Ian Brown. Gets a liner, that one drops. Up in the air, that one's going to be away and out of play. Comes the throw. Shin had that one. Yeah, Palmyra's frustration there, I definitely understood that one. He threw that in from way ahead of where the ball went out of play. But in a 4-1 game, do you really count that meticulously? I think you should. I think you should officiate by the letter of the law, not by situation-based, leniency, but Palmyra has had the upper hand ever since the start of the second half. Like I said, I'd criticize Palmyra a little bit at the start of at the end of the first half. I'd said these guys didn't seem like they had good chemistry. They weren't working together really well. It seemed like communication was really not working. But they whatever issues they had, they have surely been fixed.
No, bro, I will. Okay, I'll help with the
Looks like the Palmyra JV game is done.
X. Yes, X. No help it.
That one's going to be out. Here comes a good shot. Not going to get that one. Oh, getting tripped up there. A little bit of self-sabotage. About 7 minutes left in the half. Here comes an opportunity here. Burlington Township controlling the possession, and it's going to be a line of right to hands. In the air. And McCann's going to let that one roll out. A couple subs coming in, actually just one sub coming in for Palmyra. With about 6 minutes left in the half. 4-1, here comes the throw. Looks good, got a good angle on it. Connor Jones, that one goes out of play. Gonna go back to McCann.
And it was actually a double team, so I was actually doing it.
Yeah. Right to Bennett. Richie Butler out there getting a good kick, but just couldn't hang on to it.
No, for us. Oh, goodbye.
Here comes a drive blocked. Burlington Township has gotten the momentum back since Palmyra scored that fourth goal, but it might just be a case of fatigue versus, who's willing to put in the effort. Bennett's got that one. And it gets ready. Puts it in. Goes back to Shin. Shin keeps it on the ground. Back to Ian Brown. Brown lets that one fly, but there's really nobody home. Here comes the shot. Jaworski gets it in. That's the goal for the Falcons. Here late in the second half, Burlington Township gets back on the board. It's going to be 4-2 as Jaworski gets the second goal of the ball game for the home side Falcons. Well, Palmyra had all the advantage, and now that is starting to dwindle a little bit. As I said, Burlington Township, they had a lot of the possession, and now they are, kind of getting a grand scope of the situation, and that's going to be a foul, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty clear there. That's going to be against Anthony Fitz. I mean, we already had one foul against, or rather one yellow card against Dylan Zarillo earlier in the half. But this has been a very eventful second half. The entire ball game has been very eventful in the fact that you've had the first half be comprised of defense and just a lot, and I mean a lot of physicality, but also Palmyra had their own internal struggles. And now they're working back with Palmyra having that huge 12-minute run, getting 3 goals in 12 minutes, and then adding on a fourth. Burlington Township was able to strike right back, get that second goal on their board. I mean, that was the 5th goal scored in the half. That one's going to go out of play towards the fan section. Levi Shin still out there, the 27 freshman, class of 27 freshman. Connor Corbin. Here comes a drive. Jaworski just had the goal a couple minutes ago. What can he set up? Nobody home, and that one's a long drive, a long, long way from home. That was set up really well from Jaworski all the way back to Anthony Phipps, but and all the way with Ian Brown as well. They really tried to get that one home, but just couldn't get that one down. Now about 90 seconds unofficially left in regulation. Palmyra leads 4-2. I don't really have a candidate for player of the game. I think Palmyra's entire offense turning it around in that second half is really something, you know, almost from folklore. That's shocking. Getting a great shoulder on it. Corbin kicks it out. But that was great strategy to hold him off there by Iola. And now they're going to try to stall a little bit to send this one home. Still hugging the corner. And that one goes out. This has just kind of become a war of attrition here where everybody's guarding hard in the corner. It's going to go the other way. The Burlington Township knows they don't have a lot of time. And they're down by 2, so they have to get everything up. That's another one. It's going to go back to Burlington. Maybe a free kick. Sent away by Jordan Brown. Gets some great distance on it. Goes back to Jaworski. Jaworski lets it fall. McCann whiffs on it. McCann leading with the shoulder. Jaworski trying to get back in. He crosses both of them up. Here comes the setup by Fitz. Oh, it's wide. Back to Deacon Haynes. He brings it down. I have the game over. How much time? Huh? Okay. And a Palmyra player down. I got to catch my breath. That was an intense sequence there from both the Panthers and the Falcons. But again, with our clock having hit 0, they're presumably in extra time here in the second half. So they'll only have a few minutes left before the ball game is over. But a 4-2 ball game, Palmyra, I mean, like I said, they had a lot of troubles in the first half, a lot of miscommunication, a lack of communication, and a lot of frustration from player to player. So they were able to turn that around, and at the start of the second half, got 3 goals in 12 minutes, got a 4th one, as Jace Jennings to lift up his teammate and get him off the field. I noticed a lot of the Burlington Township players pulled themselves off the field. They're going to come back out here for the final minute or so. I don't know how much there would be. There were a couple of injury stoppages. Referee counting how many players on the field here. 4-2 ball game. Palmyra with an incredible second half. That one goes to Deacon Haynes. And with the little time that they have left, Palmyra is going to try to take it a little bit slower. Take it a little bit more casually. Towards the corner. Still being driven out there with Jordan Brown. Goes back to Jennings. Lets it fly.
Have a good run by Iola. And a big shove by Burlington and gets him out. Obviously, he's not too happy about it. A little bit of chatter back and forth here. Now we'll see where they take this one. It's going to be a throw in from the corner. I'm not going to get far with that one. He's going to go to Bennett. I mean, they've got to get intense here. They're all in extra time to score 2 goals. I mean, Palmyra's scored that many goals in the same amount of time, but can the Falcons do the same? I don't know if the answer is yes, and I don't know if the answer is no. We're just going to have to wait and see. They're taking a while. Brown keeping it rolling. Brown sends it straight away, and nobody is home. That one goes out towards the assistant coach, Luke Capritti, on the sideline. Throw in by the Panthers. Comes a chance off the foot of Jaworski. And Deacon Haynes lays out flat and gets it down. Again, it's been darn close. Burlington Township's had just 110% in them in for the last 10 minutes. They only got 1 goal out of it. Goes off the head. Falcons are going to try to let this one ride to Bennett. Sliding is Fitch. He keeps that one down off of Isola. Bennett running in. He's going to get past him. Still in play. Bennett's got to get back to the post. Oh, I thought that second whistle was going to blow. I thought we were done. I'm sure Palmyra wants us to be done. They've been riding high for a while. They do not want Burlington Township to get back into the game. But frankly, I don't know how much time we have left. There's been a lot of stoppage time that we've had in this second half. So it's not unfair to say there will be a couple extra minutes for Burlington Township to try to leverage a goal or 2 back.
You got it, Connor.
Goes back to Jace Jennings. Gets a shove. And I'll go back to Burlington. Oh, and here comes a card maybe. Yeah, that's going to be a card. It's going to be a yellow card on Burlington Township's number 8, Gabriel Hauk. The second card of the game against Burlington Township, both yellows. Yeah, second one of the game for Burlington Township. First one was against Dylan Zarillo earlier in the half. Here comes the throw in from Corbin. Comes back down for Logan Cars. That one's going to fall just a little bit short, and that will do it. Palmyra remains undefeated. Despite a little bit of a heart palpitation in the first half, they were down 1-0. They had allowed their 4th goal of the entire season, and they rally back with 3 goals in 12 minutes after what must have been a tumultuous halftime break. And Burlington Township tried all they might, but Palmyra takes this one 4-2. Big thanks to everyone for watching today. Our next broadcast will be Deptford versus Cumberland Boys Soccer tomorrow at 4 p.m. from Cumberland Regional High School. I don't have a player of the game for this one. I think that Palmyra's offense, the fact that the team was so down, so out of it, and just came back together is just such an incredible accomplishment. From everybody here at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, my social media coordinator, Anthony DePalma, our financial manager, Donna Wilkins, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel and Caleb Lane. I'm Dan Wilkins. We will see you tomorrow from Cumberland Regional High School with the Deptford Spartans and the Cumberland Colts tomorrow.